welcome back to another episode of the Councilmen, or should I say the small council, because there's only two of us,
Yeah,
not four.
I,
As you can see, I guess before we start everything, I'd like to explain what happened to the group. I think Teguh, he went back to his harem, or
oh
I don't
god.
know what happened. He has like a harem of sheep. I think he went back
Huh.
herding them. Kelvin, he actually said that he had an exam, so there was a logical excuse behind his act. Now it's back to two of us. Except we're
Well,
not talking about Game of Thrones. Not today. Just today, this episode, we are going to review. We're going to talk about the Comic Con, San Diego.
San Diego
What is it?
Comic Con.
Comic Con SDCC.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Diego Comic Con, because they released a lot of new stuff. I'm pretty sure all of you have heard like the Marvel phase, the next Marvel phases, new trailers from Netflix, all in all, and we're going to discuss
All of
a
that.
lot of that. And we're trying to put all of that in this one video. It's gonna be difficult, but it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and look, yeah, we got this.
Yeah, finally.
We got our councilman shirt. We just need to give it to.
The other two. The other
That's
two
it.
doofus.
When they come back. When they come back.
By the way, yeah, like Ariq said, this is a mini. We should do that every time. It's just the two of us, or at least three people. We should do like the what do you call it? A mini roundtable, minor roundtable. Instead of the full council, but it's just a few of us. And just to be fair for them, in their defense, both of them have exams. However, I appreciate Kelvin more than Teguh right now, because at least Kelvin told us that he is about to study. Teguh did not respond to us at all. The other day he said he's available, but he hasn't responded since. So I'm kind of pissed at Teguh right now. So yeah,
That's the thing,
my
though.
grudge right here.
Wait. That's it. So Kelvin said he wants to study. He said he wants to study, but if I press Shift Tab on my Steam, it says that he is playing Paladins.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Lying,
At least we can expose him in the we can expose him in the internet right now. Bring him to court.
Should I wait? Just like leave this.
Okay, I dare you to right now. I dare you to right now while I vamp about where they can find us. Take a screenshot and send it to the group chat. I dare you to.
Wait.
So he knows that we're watching him.
Wait. I don't know how to.
But yeah, while you do that.
We just wait. I'm actually
Okay.
do that. Hang on, wait.
While you
Give
do
me a
that,
moment.
I'm gonna tell them where they can find us. You can follow us at social media at Councilman Show on Twitter and Instagram, and then you can find our podcast available everywhere on Apple iTunes, or they call it Apple Podcast now, Spotify, Castbox, TuneIn, Podbean, Radio Public, wherever available. You can find us there, and subscribe, give us 5-star rating, and we'll shout you out on the show. And Ariq, back to you again now. Did you find a way to take a screenshot and send it to the group?
Oh my goodness! It says my Microsoft Word is expired. How is that possible?
No clue.
Hang on. No, I can't.
Well then,
remember.
no worries.
You know what?
We should.
You know what? Here, no video evidence.
Pretty sure we can.
Albert's not letting me reverse my
Oh.
camera. There. Oh, I did click it. So just switching.
Wow.
Wait,
This is technical issues.
It was a
At least I hope the audio is better this
It was a
week.
lag.
Yeah,
You can see that.
I can sort of
Stop
see it. It's
focusing,
not.
You can see that that's Disco one.
I think so. Yeah.
It's blurry, but
To take a screenshot, send it to the group. Let them know that we're watching them. But yeah, at least hopefully the audio issue is better this week. The other week the audio issues was really horrible, and it was my fault because I'm learning this new program that we're using for the recording podcast. I like the new format, the design that we have, but yeah, lots of technical issues last week, but hopefully this week is much better. We're all more prepared, and we're just a week closer to finally being able to do a podcast all together. Well, not all together, Teguh won't be there, just three of us. The main ones, no, just kidding. Kelvin, Ariq, and me, we're not the main ones. All four are the main ones, but those three of us, all three of us is gonna be here in Indonesia, so we're all gonna be recording in the same room for the first time, so that's gonna be fun. But yeah, enough with the BS. Let's get to the actual show because we got a lot to cover today. And before we do talk about the marvelous San Diego, you see what I did there? Let's do our usual segment of 30 seconds review. However, me and Ariq finally see a movie at the same time now, and we're gonna be reviewing Stuber in 1 minute. And how it's gonna go is I'm gonna time it. Ariq's gonna do the first 30 seconds, and I'm gonna do the second 30 seconds. And all I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna Ariq, I need you to pay attention to me because when I flick my finger, that means your 30 seconds is up and my 30 seconds is gonna go because I'm gonna keep on going with the timer.
Connection from the network. So
Should I? I'll
sometimes when
just
you do this, sometimes when you do this, it
okay.
just suddenly
I'll
like
just say stop then. I'll just say stop whenever when your 30 seconds up. I'll just say stop and I'll directly go with mine because the timer's gonna keep on going. Okay. And we're gonna be reviewing
okay.
Stuber. All right, Ariq, you ready? Playing it in 3, 2, 1, start.
So Stuber was a comedy action film, I guess that you can say. It stars Dave Bautista, that Pakistan guy I don't know the name of, but he's playing in The Big Sick, and Albert said that was a really good movie. And third, it was starred an Indonesian star, Iko Uwais. The movie overall was actually very entertaining. It was very fun. It was action packed. It was funny. Albert was right. That Pakistani guy was actually really fun. It's actually
Stop.
really exciting to
Okay.
watch, and
Okay.
I
So
just
the
like the
Pakistani
movie
guy
in
is
general.
Kumail Nanjiani, and is a very good. It's very much an action comedy. Karen Gillan's in there also, and is a very much an Uber advertisement sort of. And it's entertaining. The action is great. The comedy, I feel like it's more comedy than action, and it's it take an interesting twist sort of in the relationship between the partners, I would say, without going to spoiler. But it's a fun, enjoyable film. I would rate it 7 out of 10. Ariq, how much would you rate it out of 10, real quick? And time is up on the 1 minute. 7 out of 10 as
Seven
well.
out of
Okay,
ten.
so yeah, it's a good summer movie. It's a good summer movie. Ain't too special or anything, but yeah. So that is Stuber for you. Yep, and I have
Worth a
no clue
watch.
who the director is. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, let's talk about the marvelous San Diego. We're breaking down every news from SDCC 2019, at least the one that I noticed for the most part. But yeah, we're gonna start with MCU, and this is not exactly from San Diego, but they sort of talk about it in San Diego in Hall H in Marvel panel. And Hall H, if for you guys that are not familiar with San Diego, is the biggest hall in the convention center, and those are like the big ones. Marvel, they usually go there almost every year. They used to do it often, but last year they didn't, I believe. But this year they're back. Last year's DC got Hall H, and they have a huge performance there. So yeah, Hall H is like the go-to. If you go to San Diego, you have to go to Hall H. That's what I heard of, because that's like the big hall. And this is, like I said, this one is not exactly from San Diego, but it's about the Marvel, and it's about Avengers Endgame finally breaking Avatar box office record, and is now the most gross film ever. And as of right now, Avengers Endgame have 2.791.4 million, and Avatar have 2.789.7 million. So that's 2 billion, right? No, that's not 2 billion. That's how much is that?
Is
2.791. I'm not good with math.
it a 2.7?
2.791 million. That means that's 200 million. 2,000 million. Well,
Yeah, 2 billion
how many ever is that? That's
794
2,000
and
million, 2.79 million, thousand million, and okay, whatever. Anyway, Ariq, my question is, are you,
forgot to count this.
are you surprised that this happened? And if you're not surprised, are you surprised that it took this long for it to finally break the record?
Oh my goodness, the camera is not. I'm still using a
Technical difficulties.
sharpener. Hang on. Anyway, um, am I surprised that it happened? Really? Because like I mean, it was a re-release anyways. Like we know that the original release they didn't actually make it. Like they were close, but they didn't make it. Like from the original release. Um, to be honest, I don't know. Like, I'm not exactly completely happy about it. I'm like, yeah, I like Endgame, but it did felt like such a desperate attempt at trying to beat Avatar. It's like, what? Like, they released it so quickly from like
Yeah.
the original release date, like 2 months after, no, not 2 months, like several months after,
Well,
basically. That's why like such a desperate attempt. I guess like they did it, and I guess Endgame does have a better like it deserves number one spot more
absolutely,
than Avatar. Like in my
absolutely.
opinion, yeah, that's how it is. But it's still a desperate attempt nonetheless, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I can see where you're going with that sympathy. Well, not sympathy. Well, I mean, like your what you're saying by desperate attempt. But I feel like one way or another, Endgame's gonna beat Avatar because the way how Endgame is tracking, how fast it's earning its money. The question is, I guess, how soon it is. Like one way or another, there is Avatar's gonna beat Endgame if they're gonna do release eventually down the line or anything like that. But I guess like what you said, we're getting the box office breaking the record sooner because of the sooner re-release. But yeah, I I don't want to say I'm surprised that it took this long because I don't know. I feel like I at first I thought they're gonna break it in their initial run, but it slowed down and then like okay, I'm guessing it's not gonna happen. But then the re-release, I'm
Hmm.
like I didn't thought the re-release will help it push it that much, but I guess it sort of did
It
in a way. But yeah.
I don't know, like in the first attempt, like in the original like release, like the momentum picked up really quickly. Like they were soaring like
Yeah.
through the ranks really quickly, and then suddenly just kind of like slowed down near the end. It lost momentum as fast as it gained it, basically.
I guess, yeah, I guess that's true. I don't have the
Like
exact
yeah,
stats right now,
yeah.
but I believe China is a big part why the box office income is helping Endgame because China back when Avatar came out 2009, Avatar China was not big help in the international box office, but now China is a huge boost for international films, for international box office because of their population, obviously. But yeah, so I guess that's it. We're not gonna spend much time in talking about this because even though that's a big news, surprisingly, it's not the biggest news that we got from San Diego. And this, but yeah, so
Big
exactly.
news, but irrelevant.
But
This is
yeah,
irrelevant though.
sticking with the theme of Marvel, Marvel took over Hall H once again, and they put on quite a show. Before we get to everything that we're gonna talk about, Arik, did you happen to see? I sent you some videos about the playlist for Hall H panel. Did you happen got a chance to watch any of those or no? All
No.
right, but
Just too busy watching
true,
anime or
fair. But
whatever.
at least you got a chance
Can't be
to read
bothered.
my rundown. I hope that I made. And real quick before
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick before we get to this, and I'm gonna reason I'm gonna ask you right now is because it could sort of be a relevant joke that I want to make if you have done this. But did you happen? You said you're gonna start Stranger Things season 3. Did you start Stranger Things season 3 yet?
No, still haven't. I'm still watching
Okay.
the Grand Tour.
Okay, so all right, so I'm not
We're not done with that.
so I'm
I'll
not gonna
start
make
when
the
I'm done.
joke that I'm about to make the joke, but the joke is about David Harbour, but I'm not gonna make the joke. But yeah, that because the reason why I'm talking about David Harbour is because it's gonna be in the Black Widow film, which is the first one. This was the last one that they discussed on the panel on Hall H, but this is gonna be the first one in terms of release dates. So we're gonna talk about that first. Black Widow, May 1st, 2020. Director Kate Shortland, who, damn it, I remember. Let me Google what her works is. But we're gonna have Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. David Harbour playing a character named Alexei Shostakov, or in the comics, he's more known as the Red Guardian. And actually, they've never mentioned Shostakov. They just mentioned Alexei in the panel. But I'm assuming they're gonna do Alexei Shostakov because that's like one of the more obvious characters. And Red Guardian is pretty much like a Russian version of Captain America. If you're familiar with that, he's literally a Russian Captain America. And Florence Pugh, who you
Captain
might
Russian.
yeah, exactly. And Florence Pugh, who you're familiar with or not, she's in Midsommar, who's currently out in the U.S. It's not out in here yet. I heard is a very disturbing film. and she's also in Fighting with My Family, which is a very great film. I highly recommend. She's playing Yelena Belova, which is another Black Widow, because we know that the Red Room thingy, they have lots of Black Widows and not just one. And we also Rachel Weisz is also playing a character called Melina, and we don't know. They only say Melina, but I'm assuming it's going to be Melina Vostokov, which is also known as the Iron Maiden, or like sort of like the higher tier of the Black Widows, but she is also formerly a Black Widow. And we also have someone named O.T. Fagbel. Ariq, how do you pronounce that? O.T. Fagbel? I don't know how to pronounce it, but he's going to play a character called Rick Mason, who is supposedly romantically interested with Natasha, but Natasha does not necessarily feel the same way about Rick Mason. So I'll just say that. So right off the bat, just talking about the cast and the Black Widow film, without going into in depth that we're going to talk about, what are your initial thoughts of this reveal, and I just want to know what you think.
What the hell is Budapest?
Huh.
They keep
I'm pretty sure
mentioning
they're
that.
gonna. I'm pretty sure
They
they're
never
gonna.
explain whether they're gonna do it in Black film or they're gonna Hawkeye film.
I'm
Like I don't even know. Like, did they even give any like any more specifics? Like it's set here, it's set
okay.
in this time,
Well,
or
I don't know.
whatever, and what the story is about
We're
roughly.
gonna get into that real quick, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Budapest. They're gonna cover some form of Budapest, and Kate Shortland. She's an Australian film writer and director, and she has directed films including The Berlin Syndrome, Lore,
Mm.
Somersault, and The Silence, which none of them I'm familiar of, except but I've heard some good stuff about Berlin Syndrome, but I've never heard of anything else. And yeah, so your question is where it's going to take place. There is a rumor, sort of a speculation, because in Hall H, they did like a slideshow presentation, and they did like sort of a montage of Black Widow, and then the montage ends. The last scene in the montage, chronologically, it ends at the quote that Tony Stark said in Civil War, that you know that they're gonna look for you, when he's talking about Ross looking for Natasha in Civil War. So, and that's the last scene in terms of chronologically. They didn't show any scene from Infinity War or Endgame. So people are assuming that it takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, which is like there is some mystery of what happened between then. Because she dyed her hair in between those time, and she did something with Cap and Falcon, sort of. So I don't know what's going on in there. And they said that the clip that they show a teaser only for the Hall H fans, that it gives them Jason Bourne vibes. They say that the film is going to be very raw, very ugly, very realistic, and yeah, literally Jason Bourne vibes. And they also, it has been confirmed that Taskmaster, the villain, which is known for his ability to mimic other people's fighting style, is present in the clip and is going to be in the film. So Ariq, with all that said, what do you think?
I think the Taskmaster. Yeah, you already told me like what he is
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I guess it's quite interesting to see like like another like combatant villain. Takes place after a civil war. Like I guess that makes sense. There was a slight I guess there was a slight time jump between Infinity War and Civil War. Like at least like what 2 years at least. I'm not 2 years, like
If
around that
it's
time.
if it's if the release date of the film
So yeah, I
and
mean
the
like
timeline in the MCU is the same, so yeah, it's been 2 years because it's 2016, 2018.
it's usually it
Mm-hmm.
usually is like that though. If I'm not mistaken, it
Yep.
usually is like that. But but yeah, like I'm not exactly like I don't exactly know what to look for in film. So I don't know like anything behind it or what's going to happen next and all that. But it is still like it's an interesting like what is it like it's an interesting take because I actually do want to see a black a Black Widow film because she never really had one, even though she was introduced like what way back in
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
Are you?
Like she was introduced like oh yet we never seen like an actual solo
Yeah.
film
Are
of
you?
her.
Are you like among the people who are like, oh, they should have done this way earlier, and I'm not really interested to see it now? Or are you still like, yeah, it's fine that we're really it's late, but it's fine that we're seeing it finally.
Uh, actually no, the time constraint is not really. much of an issue to me. It's just that, like, I do want to see a Black Widow film. I don't really doesn't really matter when they're gonna release it. But I guess, like, if this is if I don't know, like, maybe I guess they released it like now because maybe it's like the timing or like the
Mm-hmm.
story. It might like explain some more context behind like stuff. It's like, yeah, like if this is their decision, like they think like this is the right time to release the movie. So I guess, yeah, I think it's a yeah, I think I agree with their decision basically.
Yeah, and if it is true that it takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, I feel like releasing it now wouldn't feel so much off as in comparison to if it take place literally way before, like before she was part of Shield and everything, because it's not too far off, and and yeah, I'm excited just for the cast alone. David Harbour, Florence Pugh, Rachel Weisz. So that's going to be fun to see. And I do have a theory. Do you want to hear the theory? No. Okay.
Yeah,
I think there's a bit
what's
I
your
think there's a bit of a
theory?
delay on the Skype, but yeah.
Is it
So basically on
yeah, there's a
the
delay.
well, first of all, before I get to the theory, it's funny because remember how I told you Red Guardian is like the Russian Captain America? On the stage, David Harbour used a Captain America shirt, and then like they have a question to him, and they're like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
is Captain America your favorite character?" And then David Harbour respond with, "You know, it's complicated." And I'm like, "Oh, I see what he's teasing," because he's playing the Russian version. And I do love that there is another question that they were asking to David Harbour in particular, because he's ever since, no spoilers for Stranger Things season 3, but ever since Stranger Things season 3, the fans are loving him even more. And then like the question was like, which is why people were cheering so much for him in the panel. And the question was, are you excited to see your fan base grow to the Marvel universe? And then David Harbour respond with, who are writing these questions? Are you kidding me? Of course I'm excited. So he's like super excited for it to be part of the MCU. So yeah, it's fun to see someone with that enthusiasm. And yes, my theory is that from what I heard in the clip is that Scarlett Johansson, Natasha is fighting Alexei a lot in the trailer, and like Yelena played by Florence Pugh is like sort of like a, not really a sidekick, but she's also part of the Black Widow training program, so she's like on the same route as her. And people are either saying that what I've heard a lot is that David Harbour, he's not really gonna be the Red Guardian, but he's sort of gonna be a Red Guardian that become Taskmaster, because they say Taskmaster is gonna be in the film, but based on this cast, none of them fits the Taskmaster role. So people are assuming that David Harbour is gonna be Taskmaster eventually. But my prediction is Florence Pugh is actually gonna be the one who's gonna be Taskmaster. Yelena is gonna be the one Taskmaster, because Yelena in the comics have been a bigger adversary for Black Widow instead of Alexei. And also from what I've heard, they say that Yelena's movement very much mimics Black Widow's movement based on what they see in the clip. So that could be a hint of Taskmaster, because Taskmaster literally mimics fighting style. And I don't see David Harbour doing that signature move by Black Widow where she clips a person's on the neck with their legs, with their thighs. I don't see David Harbour doing that. So you know what? My theory is Florence Pugh, Yelena is gonna be the real Taskmaster. What do you think about that?
Then why do they have a cast for
They
Taskmaster
don't.
then,
They
or
didn't.
did you
They
just
didn't. They
put
never
that
reveal
in?
a cast for Taskmaster. They just say Taskmaster is gonna be in the film. Yep.
Oh, really? Huh.
So unless
I thought
so
those
unless
ideas
so
were all
unless they're gonna reveal the cast eventually.
oh, oh no, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
So
reason.
yeah, unless they're gonna reveal the cast eventually,
Yeah, never mind. I
or
was reading the wrong name.
one of them is gonna be Taskmaster. So it's one of the two, but I'm assuming one of them is gonna be Taskmaster, because they're not gonna waste the talents of Florence Pugh or David Harbour or even Rachel Weisz as just another side characters, because they're really talented actors. And it's interesting because I'm guessing it's gonna be set in Russia,
Oh, the thing is that-
which is gonna be fun. We haven't seen Russia in the MCU. There,
actually, yeah, yeah. I guess we have some most of the cast yet. Russian setting would make a lot of sense. They're all playing Russian characters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Taskmaster part, I'm not like it's not exactly out of the table like about the that part. The thing is, I don't know exactly what Taskmaster is like or what
Have you
he's
ever
supposed to look
have
like,
you ever
or
seen
if it is
Taskmaster
it
in the
is like a
comics?
he.
He looks cool. He's like he got a
Oh,
skull
really?
mask. Google Taskmaster. He looks like that's what's the in the that skull character from Masters of the Universe. What's his name?
Oh, wait. I know the one one of the
Yeah,
Masters of the
but
Universe.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Taskmaster look like he looks pretty cool. One of the coolest designs I would say in the comics.
Oh yeah,
But
I
yeah,
see him.
um, but yeah, that is. You have anything else to add about Black Widow? Any additional thoughts?
Um, not sure to be honest. It's not exactly the most. It's not like the most I'm looking forward to, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I think it's like quite interesting.
Yeah, I wish they did release the clip because that
Mm.
way we can talk about it more. But I respect that they don't. That way they sort of give the people who go to Hall H they feel like they got their money's worth because it's not directly released to the public.
It's like speculations and all that,
Yeah, they sort of get like an exclusive sneak peek,
but
you know.
at least you can kind of. I guess it's yeah. I guess we can kind of like cross what's that thing? Budapest off the list since it's not really. It doesn't seem like it's about that.
Well, maybe there, maybe there will be
So yeah, I did.
there will be
To be
flashbacks.
honest,
Who
yeah,
knows?
I thought that first movie would be like back.
There is a bit of a delay on this Skype.
Yeah, like I thought that her movie would be like not like a backstory rather than like a new rather than like a new setting,
Yeah.
you know, rather than the modern
Wait,
setting. I mean, like
where is
it would be.
Budapest? It's in Hungary, right? I believe it is. Yeah.
I think so. I only remember Budapest because of that movie, The
They
Grand
mentioned it
Budapest
twice. They
Hotel.
mentioned it in Endgame and they mentioned it in Avengers, the Budapest. But so yeah, maybe we'll have some kind of flashbacks. Who knows? So,
I mean, it's not like. Oh wait. That's actually one thing I want to. I was wondering about. I mean, if you say it's between Civil War and Infinity War, and David Harbour was wearing the Captain America shirt. Like, is there a chance that Captain America will appear again? I think it's
un-
unlikely because he already the contract has
I
ended,
don't
right?
think it's gonna appear. It's more likely that Sam is. If Sam's gonna be there, is more likely. But yeah, I don't think Rogers is gonna be
Mm.
there.
I think we just
Hmm.
mentioned probably it's
Yeah.
unlikely he's gonna appear.
But yeah, from a grounded Jason Bourne-esque world to a very cosmic, very celestial creatures, we're gonna move on from Black Widow to Eternals, which is the next film on the slate, November 6th, 2020. And if you don't know what the Eternals is, I'm gonna read a quick synopsis. It's a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth and shapes its history and civilizations, and I'll add to this, throughout decades and centuries in the world. So they are made by the Celestials. They are sent to Earth, and they've lived in Earth for decades, for centuries. And it's directed by Chloe Zhao,
Mm.
which um, which is the director of. I'm gonna Google that right now. It's not Short Term 12. It's the director of. I should
Sure.
prep this beforehand. She's the director of The Rider on 2017, which I heard is pretty good. Songs my brother taught me, which I've never heard. But yeah, I've heard good stuff about The Rider. A critic that I listened to, in particular, Rod Cornett, has been criticized, like praising The Rider a lot. So yeah, Chloe Zhao is gonna be the director, and the cast is the one that I love, and I am pretty sure Alex is also familiar with several of them. And let's start it off. Richard Madden from Game of Thrones. You
Yeah.
might know him as Robb Stark. He's playing a character called Icarus. Kumail Nanjiani is playing a character named Kingo. And we just talked about Kumail just now in the Stuber review. He's a very great Pakistani comedian. Lauren Ridloff
Yeah.
is playing Makari, and she's also going to be the first deaf superhero. And I didn't notice she's actually really deaf in real life. And how I know that is because she's doing the sign language on stage, on the panel, instead of actually speaking. So that's a surprise to me. And Brian Tyree Henry, which is amazing in all his work, and also is great in Spider-Verse, I believe. He played the father in Spider-Verse. and is playing Pastos. Salma Hayek is playing Ajax, which is the leader of the Celestials. Leah McHugh is playing Sprite, and it's funny how she's playing one of the oldest characters in the MCU, yet she's one of the youngest actors in the MCU. She's only 12 years old in real life. She's very shy on stage, and it's like, in the stage, she's like, I hope I'm making my parents proud, and of course, her parents are definitely proud in the MCU. And Dong Suk Ma is playing Gilgamesh, is supposedly one of the strongest characters in the universe. And that asks a question: who's stronger, the Hulk or Gilgamesh? And the actor is like, is Mark Ruffalo here? No, Gilgamesh is stronger. And like the crowd cheered. And then of course the biggest reveal that it has been rumored and is finally confirmed: Angelina Jolie playing Tina. And I didn't thought Angelina Jolie would actually be in an MCU, and she finally is, and that's bonkers. And while I'm gonna double check on some of these characters' abilities, Ariq, what are your thoughts on the director, on the casting, and on the theme of the Eternals? Let me know.
Um, well, for the director, don't bother asking me because I wouldn't know. Like, I'm just assuming that, what is it? He was just making the right
Yeah,
decisions at that point. I'm like, like there's a lot of there's a lot of directors that that you say that aren't usually that famous, but and
I mean, look at Taika
did a good job
Waititi. Look at
regardless.
Taika
It's probably gonna
Waititi
be the
and the
same thing
Russo
again.
brothers and Scott Derrickson, John Watts,
I mean,
all
I
of them.
mean before what was the first Taika Waititi first MCU was what is it? Is it
Thor
Thor? Is
Ragnarok,
it
yeah.
Thor Ragnarok?
I mean, he
That is
did
first.
his
His first MCU. His first MCU director.
yeah. I mean, he did Hunting for the Wilder People before that, and What We Do in the Shadows.
I mean no, no, I mean like the first MCU
Oh
movie.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that was
yeah.
this first
His the
director,
first
right?
that is his first MCU movie, yes. But that's not the first indie director that we got in the MCU.
Yeah, that's why. Like before, yeah, before the Thor Ragnarok, I did watch the Hunting for the Wilder People. That was a fun
It
movie
is.
and so fun. So I was like, oh, okay, like I like this director so much. But anyway, like so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like the same. I think it's gonna end up well. And besides the cast, this is interesting. It's like I mean, there are people I
Hmm.
haven't heard of. Actually, a
Same
lot
here.
of them I haven't heard of. Then there are people that I've only recently heard of. Like they're not completely famous. Like Richard Madden. Like people only know him as Rob
And
Stark so far, and people know him well for
the pr-
getting killed in
and the
episode
Princess
9, season
Cinderella,
3,
the Princess
whatever.
Cinderella. He's known for that.
He was in there, but I kind of like overlooked that. I was like,
That's
oh.
that's where I know him first.
And while I guess like he's from I guess while like is from Stuber. That's the first time I saw him, and yeah, he was funny in that movie. He was funny in that movie. I liked it. And then they also had like old like older actresses. Basically, it's Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie. Um, I didn't expect both of them to be there. I didn't even expect them to be like MCU like
Yeah.
what was that? Anyway, I didn't expect them to be MCU like quality. To be honest, like I'm not sure. Like I thought they wouldn't like fit in, but apparently like they're gonna
Yeah.
make it work at least. Like yeah, like what you said about Angelina Jolie, like the biggest surprise. Yeah, I was also surprised. I was like I saw like an Instagram post somewhere like blah 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 MCU they cast this, and then at the bottom Angelina Jolie. I'm like, they did that? What? They actually, those bastards actually did it.
Yeah, I know.
And as for yeah, and as for everyone else, like the ones I haven't heard of, I don't know. I can't exactly judge them.
That's fair. Like I've heard of Richard Madden, Kumail. I've heard of Salma Hayek, Brian Tyree Henry, and Angelina Jolie. I've never heard of any of the rest of them. So it's like it's a mix of unknowns and people that we're familiar with. And the the fact is,
People that are familiar, people that are
yeah,
like
and
kind
the
of old.
fact is, I don't. It's a weird combination seeing Angelina Jolie and Kumail Nanjiani in the same film. Salma Hayek and Richard Madden in the same film. It's like they're like from different worlds. And it's like from comedy and from action, from dramas, and they're all mixed together. And this could be something turned out very horribly, or something that's very well done. And what I also like is that Marvel is casting with diversity now, and we're gonna get that with like Shang-Chi and everything else. But in the comics, if I'm not wrong, all of them are white. So the fact that they're getting someone from every race, Richard Madden is his British, is white. Kumail Nanjiani is Pakistani. Lauren Ridendorf, I believe she's African American. Brian Tyree Henry is African American, but Lauren Ridendorf, we're getting her for because she's deaf. We're getting her for that. Salma Hayek is Latino, Hispanic. Leah McHugh, because she's just very young. I'm guessing that's why the age range. Dong Sukma, he's Asian, and Angelina Jolie, of course, she's white. But it's like diversity, and I really like that they're doing that, you know.
Welcome back to another episode of
So yeah, there was technical issues.
No,
we're gonna address that. We have technical issues.
Massive crash.
Yeah, so we're back. Hopefully everything is better.
Yeah. Now I can hear you directly, not the delay. I don't have to wait.
There was actually a funny delay. I didn't want to address it just now, but there was actually a funny delay. I was like, I asked you a question, and then one, two, three. Yeah, I think you were just staring at the camera. But I think it's better now. The internet's better. Hopefully nothing crashed. But yeah, let's not jinx it. But let's get back on the topic. As I was saying, they have representation for every race, every age range, every disability, and whatsoever. Not to mention, if I'm not wrong, Icarus, which is played by Richard Madden, he's a queer character. He's gay, so that's like sort of a representation. And it's not like that Marvel is like saying this in front of us. Look at all these diverse people. He's gonna be gay. She's gonna be deaf. She's young. She's black. She's white. They're not doing that. They're just like casting it and not addressing it. So it's like it's a good way of doing so. You know.
I mean, yeah, no, it's okay because like the thing is what Marvel is doing. Okay, well, actually, there's two parts I want to add to this. The first part is that it's not exactly forced like multiculturalism or whatever it is. It's like they already made the character. It just so happens that the character is gay or the character is deaf. Like they didn't purposely like make. They didn't ask for like, let's make a gay character. No, they asked for let's put a Marvel character and make him gay. There's a difference in that, okay? And
Right.
on top of that, like it says right here, it's a race of immortal beings who lived on Earth and shapes its history and civilizations. So like, yeah, Earth is already like like it's diverse already as it is. So it makes sense that the whole theme is diverse and like say say that they lived in different parts of the world. So like, it makes sense, right? So it makes sense for it to be diverse. Like if they're gonna shape the whole history of Earth, like it's obviously they're gonna be from like different parts. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I was googling while we had the time off just now, I was googling some of their strengths and everything. Their abilities are very very similar. Like they got like they're sort of the way how they describe it. I'm looking on Wikipedia and they're like superhuman strength, flight, superhuman speed, regeneration. So they're like sort of like Superman, but they have like some of them have different stuff. Like Icarus, I believe you have teleportation and matter transmutation and psionic powers. I don't know what matter transmutation is, but I'm guessing it's like you can change matter from solid to liquid or whatsoever. That's Richard Madden's character. Kumail Nanjiani's character he's supposed
Driving
to
an
have
Uber.
like no, not driving an Uber. It's supposed to have like martial artist ability sort of. So it says, well, the original Kingo is supposed to be a Japanese character. He's like a samurai kind of thing. But we are casting a Pakistani character for this one, so I don't know how they're gonna adapt to that. We'll see. Because I'm not familiar with any Pakistani martial arts. So yeah. Lauren Ridendorf, who's playing the Makari, the deaf one, she is supposed to be a really good pilot. That's one of the advantage of Makari. Pastos is supposed to be a really brilliant engineer, technologist, inventor. That's Brian Tyree Henry's character, is supposed to be really smart. Ajax, Salma Hayek's character, is the leader of the team. And aside from everything else, she got energy blast ability as well. Sprite, one of the youngest in the team, she also got telekinesis and telepathy. And illusion casting, that's interesting. Sort of like Mysterio. And Gilgamesh is supposed to be very strong. And Tina, played by Angelina Jolie, she's supposed to have ability of superhuman speed, psychokinesis, teleportation, and explosion. Okay, interesting.
Controls explosion.
I guess they're quite very similar, but it's interesting all this cast. I'm not familiar at all at this. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm not familiar at Eternals at all. Never read the Eternals comics, but lots of people say the same thing about Guardians, and look what it becomes. So I have faith in this one. Hopefully it's good, because the cast is great on paper, but we'll see how it works. But I'm excited for this one.
Is Kingo going to fight Drax in a department store or not?
Oh wow! I mean, we got Nebula in there too, so you know. We just need
Wait,
we just
gonna
need
be in
no
this-
not in this film, but Nebula was in Stuber. We just need Iko Uwais
Oh,
now
yeah.
in the universe.
Oh wait, yeah. We just need Iko Uwais to play
Dude,
another.
I swear, MCU is getting so big that they're casting everyone. Eventually, they're gonna run out of actors to cast. They have literally got everyone.
I mean, yeah, this is actually quite impressive to be honest. So, I think the cast will work. I'm not sure. I can't say definitely, but I think it will work very well.
In Marvel.
But then again,
Trust.
yeah, the chances of them like screwing up is also as big. It's like big risk, big reward. But it's Marvel. They can afford it. I think they can afford to do this.
Yeah. And yeah, there's not much to say about the Eternals because there is not much that I know about the Eternals. So
Neither do I.
So we'll move on to our next one, which is gonna be the first of the Disney Plus. There are gonna be 4 films in four TV series in the Disney Plus. I don't know if it's gonna be a limited series, which means like what we got in Defenders Netflix, or it's going to be an ongoing show, like maybe like Stranger Things. But we don't know that yet. But we know 4 series is confirmed, and the first one that we're gonna get is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier in fall of 2020, and that is the last thing that we're gonna get in 2020 from Marvel. And by the way, this is all Phase 4. If I didn't address it earlier, this is all Phase 4, and we're gonna get Anthony Mackie back as the Falcon or Captain America, Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier. We're gonna get Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter, which Emily was not in the panel on the day, but I opened IMDb and she was listed. So I don't know if IMDb is true this time, but I believe that. And Daniel Bruhl, he's back as Baron Zemo, and not just as Zemo, as Baron Zemo. They even teased the mask a few days ago on Twitter that he's going to wear the mask. They showed that on the
Purple
panel.
sock.
Yeah, the purple. It looked like a purple ski mask. And it's confirmed that it's going to take place after Endgame. And Ariq, what do you think of this? Excited? Not so much? Well, let me know.
I'm going to illegally stream it. I should say that.
Don't say it publicly. What's wrong with you?
I am going to secretly stream it.
I'm going to give you access to my Disney Plus account.
Oh, okay, then never mind. I will not secretly stream it. Okay. I guess it's definitely like a worth. I mean, like I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. It's like the first Disney Plus series, is it? Yeah, it is the first one. Um, and I can't really say much about the the casting and characters because they're basically just returning. But I guess like the story or like what's going to happen, that's something I'm looking forward to. Like what happens after Endgame, what else can it possibly do, to be honest? Like I don't know how they can
I feel like it's gonna be
expand from that.
it's gonna be a bit
Like,
more grounded.
Wait, like isn't oh, never mind. I was gonna say, isn't Baron Zemo in Wakanda? I was like, no, wait, no, he was handed
No,
over.
yeah, he's back with Martin Freeman's character.
Yeah, he
And
was handed over.
he's with he's with the UN, I believe, right? It's not Shield, it's the UN because Shield is gone. But yeah. So yeah, I didn't realize I wasn't expecting Zemo to be back. Even though I followed the news, I wasn't expecting him to be back until they reveal it, and I'm sort of excited for it. Because I know Kelvin hates Zemo. I don't know. I don't know. I forget what your feelings on Zemo are. I'm actually a fan of Zemo. But
I
yeah.
never really said anything about Zemo, but I thought he was gonna be like. I thought he's supposedly like he's a master tactician, that kind of thing. Basically, like almost like an like an almost Batman. Are you tired? Huh? You wanna
No,
go
I'm
to
not.
bed?
I'm not yawning. I'm not yawning at all.
Okay, anyway, like he's supposed to be like like kind of like a Batman-esque kind of guy. No powers, just tactics and fighting. And he didn't really show that. I mean, he did show the tactic part, but he didn't really show like the fighting part in Civil War.
Yeah, he never
So I
did.
was hoping that we get to see like more Baron Zemo action. As for Falcon and Winter Soldier, yeah, I'm not so sure actually. I'm not so sure what to expect. I guess I expect this series to be as good as Netflix Daredevil, but that's like
It's
a
sort of
big
gonna be a buddy cop thing. I feel like,
yeah.
and yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why whenever I heard Zemo, one of these weapons that I think of is a sword, and I don't know where I see it because I don't think it's very common, or if it is, correct me if I'm wrong. But I know there are iterations where Zemo uses a sword and like a really medieval looking sword. So it will be interesting if you have a
think
sword in the show.
I mean I think if I'm not mistaken, I thought one of his specialty is sword fighting, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. I just don't know. I cannot picture a sword fighting thing on Marvel. You know, I don't think we've ever seen that. Maybe Ronin, but we never really see him doing sword fight.
Technically Colleen did use a sword in the Netflix
Yeah,
Iron Fist.
yeah, but yeah, it's different with the MCU. You know,
What, it's just less violent? That it?
it's different. It's a different tone, I guess. I just see that, but yeah.
Well, at least on the bright side, it's like you know how in the Netflix series they can like include like the events of the MCU, but only like not briefly, like vaguely. Like for example, there's like this one episode in Jessica Jones where she walked past like some kind of bulletin and there was like the news New York under attack. It was from the Avengers. Like they can only vaguely do that, but in here it's directly linked to the MCU. So I guess they can like recall some events, I guess, from
Maybe
previous movies.
unless if they reveal that it's in a different universe. Cause spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about the casting of Marshall Ali as Blade, and he's known for cut and mouth. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do that. If they're gonna like acknowledge Netflix at all in the MCU. But yeah, that is the Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's one of many of the Disney Plus, and we don't know how much is gonna tie into the actual cinematic movie universe. We know that WandaVision is gonna be that, and we're gonna talk about it real soon. But we don't know if Falcon and Winter Soldier will tie in as much. Although we know the characters are gonna be there. The next one that we have is on February 12th, 2021. The first one in 2021, and dude, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, not 8, 7. We have 7 properties from the MCU in 2021. That is a lot. That is a lot, and they're gonna spread it over the course of months. So that means there's gonna be 7 months where we're gonna have MCU content, and that is fun. That is
7
crazy,
months.
and that is exciting.
7 months. Holy cow.
And yes, so the first one, February 12th, 2021, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Director Destin Daniel Cretton, who's not, this time I know what he's known for. He's known for Short Term 12, which is a, Brie Larson is quite known. One of her better films from Room is Short Term 12, and Daniel Cretton is also working. Not The Room, Rome, god damn it. And sorry for screaming, but Destin Daniel Cretton is known for working with Brie Larson, so he's gonna be directing this. He's also Hawaiian, and it's also funny. And I'm pointing out Hawaiian because he mentioned it during the panel that he's from Hawaii, and he's not really familiar with like the big stage and with he's excited to be working with the MCU, but he's also nervous, and you can tell he's very nervous and very shy on the stage, and it's very funny to see. Not funny. It's like the more appropriate word would be quite. It's charming, cute in a way, because like he's very shy in the big screen, everywhere. And then on the contrary, Simu Liu, who's playing Shang-Chi, is very charismatic, is very confident with his role. He's very excited. You can tell he's very excited and very confident. He's taking on this part. Also, if you're not on Twitter, right? But he's on Twitter, and in this last few days, he is literally the king of Twitter. This last few days, he's been tweeting some amazing stuff. Canada, the Twitter of Canada. I didn't know that Canada have a Twitter. Official Twitter of Canada just tweeted about Simu Liu, because he's a Canadian actor. He's Canadian. So the fact that a country just tweeted at you, that's sort of big. So yeah, and he's been spreading lots of stuff on Twitter as well. So he's been great over there. But yeah, I'm not familiar with his work, but it's going to be Shang-Chi. He's 30 years old, so it's going to be exciting to see where it goes from here. Also, interesting story. This was revealed on Saturday, right? San Diego Comic Con was on Saturday. The Saturday before, he was doing a test screening, meaning he's being cast, he's basically auditioning. And on the Tuesday, on Tuesday after that Saturday, he was officially casted. And on the Saturday, he was announced to the world. So that has been a roller coaster ride for him, just over the course of a week. And then Tony Chiu Wai Leung, he's going to be playing the Mandarin. Hopefully I'm not butchering that name, but he's going to be playing the actual Mandarin. And Aquafina is also going to be playing in the movie Shang-Chi in an undisclosed role yet. And it's exciting because the Mandarin is finally back, the actual Mandarin now, not Ben Kingsley, Trevor Slattery.
Ben Kingsley.
And yeah, in the panel they also show some clips of montages of showing like the 10 rings throughout the MCU. First starting off in Iron Man, the terrorists of the 10 rings. Iron Man 2 is also there. Iron Man 3 with, of course, Trevor Slattery faking to be the Mandarin. And in Ant-Man, there's also apparently, if you realize, one of the guy have a tattoo of a 10 ring on his neck. And also in All Hail the King, which is one of the Marvel shorts that they used to do in the Phase 1 and Phase 2. Did they do it Phase 3? No, they didn't do it in Phase 3. Phase 1 and Phase 2, they used to do shorts and stuff. One of them is All Hail the King, in which Trevor Slattery went to prison. And they claim that the real Mandarin is really pissed that he's been using the name of Mandarin. And at the end of the short, I believe, the actual Mandarin approached Trevor Slattery and pointed a gun at his head. So yeah. So with that said, are you excited for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Ring, Ariq?
Well, I've never heard of it, so obviously it does sound really interesting. I'm assuming there's a lot of like martial arts fighting style in here. Am I wrong or not?
Yes.
Or am I just being blatantly racist because it's Chinese?
You're being blatantly racist. No, I'm just kidding. It's fair that you assume that, but Shang-Chi is a master of martial art, master of kung fu, something like that. I'm not familiar with Shang-Chi as well, but if you want to compare him, he's very much Iron Fist, I would say, without the actual Iron Fist itself.
So that's horrible then, because Iron Fist, at least season 1 was shit.
Well, I have faith in this, and hopefully it's more.
Right.
Hopefully it's more, like those Bruce Lee kung fu films, Jackie Chan kung fu films, like those epic martial art films. I wish we got a vibe of that, because that will be very different from the MCU, and it will be very fun to see as well.
I mean, to be honest, like my favorite fighting thing I've seen in movie is by far The Raid. So if it was filmed like that, not exactly the same fighting style, because the fighting style in The Raid is Pancak Silat, not Kung Fu, which is different.
Yeah.
But like if it's filmed in the same way, like the camera work and all that, then yeah, that'll be very that'll be very cool, and definitely enjoy the movie if it was like that. If the camera work was something like that. I've never really heard of these what do you call it? Cast, except Aquafina. Didn't you mention her before in a previous episode?
She's in Crazy Rich Asians. She's in Ocean's 8. She's in The Farewell right now. That's playing on theaters in the U.S., but not in Indonesia, and I heard it's pretty good. So yeah, she's a rising star.
All right.
And
so basically my expectation for it is just like a really cool action fighting movie kind of thing.
Hopefully they embrace the full kung fu-ness, and the old martial artists. And also it's smart because initially it was they just said we're making Shang-Chi movie. But the fact that they put the Legend of the Ten Rings in the title, that makes it twice as exciting. Because if people who don't know who Shang-Chi is and they're like, oh, you remember the terrorist organization in Iron Man? Yeah, it's going to be in this film. So they could market it as like a sequel to Iron Man, which is so smart on Marvel's end.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like the Ten Rings, like they're an enemy that appears a lot, but at the same time you don't really like notice them.
Yeah.
Like they've never really been like a big part. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of like there. Yeah, they're just background. Now we're getting like a movie that's like kind of like not like you can say like dedicated to them.
Yeah.
Like their own thing.
Yeah, and as much as I'm excited for this, just because of I haven't seen a full-on kung fu martial artist film in a long time. Like not The Raid. The Raid is an action film. It's not it's martial art film, but I'm
It's
talking
not
about
kung fu.
I'm talking about like the kung fu style. I haven't seen that in so long. If they do embrace that, it will be exciting. But at the same time, it's also a bit confusing because if they're going to make if you're going to make a kung fu master fight a terrorist organization, first of all, that's weird.
Mhm.
Sort of. I don't know how they're gonna do that. And if they're going with the full Mandarin and the 10 rings of that the Mandarin have, he have like elemental powers. He got like ice powers, electric powers, and stuff from the rings. So it's gonna be interesting how they gonna combine those two worlds together. But you know, MCU, they can do anything. They literally just have Mysterio who talk about fake multiverse and people buy into it. So
I bought into it, that's why I hate him so much. But the thing is, I know he was lying.
yeah.
Like I saw it coming, but I wish it was actually real.
Mhm.
Oh well. But that's the thing, though. To be honest, like, yeah, you say that it might sound a little far fetched with all this stuff, but to me, it's like, if they can make Doctor Strange happen,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they can make almost anything happen. I mean, like, seriously, like, if somebody proposed Doctor Strange when Iron Man just came out, they think that you're mental. Like, what the fuck? Of course not. That's stupid. Why would they include that? Right?
Yeah.
But now here they are. They're in the same universe. But so like the point is like I think like a kung fu movie in an MCU setting, it will work and it will be extremely interesting at the same time.
Very much so.
Especially when it's directed properly, at least.
Hmm.
Like I mentioned, camera angles.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
If
be.
they're done like the raid, then yeah, it'll be cool.
Yep. That's
I'm actually playing video games right now. That's why I'm a bit, I don't know, tense.
all good. You cannot really tell, unlike Teguh, which is very obvious last week. Calling you out, Teguh. And yes, moving on from a kung fu film to a very weird film, and I'm gonna emphasize on weird, and I'm not just saying it weird because I think it's weird. It's because the panel
Is it cats?
Kevin Feige
It's not,
Kevin
wait, it's still
Feige
MCU.
no, we're still saying with MCU. Kevin Feige said the word weird at least like 10 times on stage, and it is WandaVision, which is, you might think the title is weird. I'm starting to buy into the title, and I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna sneeze in a moment. And Elizabeth Olsen is back as Scarlet Witch. Paul Bettany as the Vision. Teyona Paris is casted as adult Monica Rambeau. You might remember Monica Rambeau as a young kid in Captain Marvel. Now she's an adult. And once again, they said it's gonna be the weirdest MCU project they ever attempted. It's gonna take place after Endgame. And as I'm gonna sneeze in the background, Ariq, just let me know what you think of this. First of all, WandaVision, initial thoughts.
Shit. I'm not sure what to say really. It's just there's more questions. I
Well,
guess one is when is it?
It's after Endgame. I just said
Like, I think no, I think we discussed this off camera,
We
but
did.
I guess we can just bring it up anyway. Like you said there's a theory that this movie might cause like a multiverse to actually
that.
happen.
Well, okay. Well,
In the MCU.
here's the thing. We'll skip Loki for now, but we'll talk about WandaVision and Doctor Strange side by side right now because they confirmed that
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen is going to be in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness May 7, 2021, and it's because the events of the series, this is the one that's been confirmed to tie in at the first series to tie in the most. The events of WandaVision is going to directly impact the events of Multiverse in Multiverse of Madness, which, by the way, is a very awesome title, Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, so the events of WandaVision is gonna tie into Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, and if I may explain my theory, I'm guessing Wanda, because she's lost Quicksilver, she's lost Vision, and she's lost a lot of things too, and eventually she's gonna lose her mind as well. And the reason how she's gonna lose her mind, she's gonna do some chaotic stuff, she's gonna be full control of her power. We've seen her move stuff with her mind. We've seen her in Age of Ultron play with people's mind, but we've never seen her do what she's known best in the comics, which is her hex powers, her ability to manipulate and create a reality. And one of the most iconic storylines in Marvel Universe is the House of M storyline, which is she created a brand new reality where mutants rule the world. And it's I can go into a deep dive of House of M, but I'm not gonna do right now. But that's basically the gist of it. But she can literally create a reality and just saying the word or just making a snap or whatever. She's just as powerful as Infinity Stones, and I hope we do that. We get to see that eventually in the MCU. And if that's the fact, my theory was that she's gonna use. We haven't really used the BARF technology, which is the virtual reality technology that Iron Man used. If they use that to sort of help her reconcile her trauma, and she's gonna be like expressing, maybe she want to relieve Vision, because Vision's dead. Like, we don't know how we're gonna. Paul Bettany's confirmed, but we don't know how it's gonna be there. So it's gonna be either flashbacks or it's going to be some kind of artificial kind of thing.
Or alternate reality.
Okay, either alternate reality, either an artificial thing, or either she messed with reality, which is why WandaVision, at first it sounded weird, but now it sort of sounds like Wanda's vision, not combining the two names together, but sort of like her perspective, and it sort of makes more sense. And I'm hoping, if you've seen the TV show Legion, I hope it plays like that, like a very weird, very psychological. I hope they go deep dive into that, because it could really work. And if she's dealing with like cope with loss, and she's messing with reality, and she's thinking what was not real, and she created into something real, which is like the fake vision she's making into something real. I don't know if I'm making sense right now at all, but what I'm saying is she's going to create the reality that she's going to make on her mind, she's going to bring to the real world, and it's going to create a multiverse, and it's going to become the multiverse of madness. And Doctor Strange is going to be dealing with whatever caused and damaged that Wanda has done, and Doctor Strange is gonna be like trying to fix everything. That's my theory.
The thing is, I mean, I'm not sure. I don't exactly have theories of my own, but like your theory does make sense. Like, say for example, like the BARF, like it brings back like the loved ones she lost, right? And she might get like way too attached to it, and as a result, she'll become like mental.
Yeah.
And she thinks that like this is the reality, or at least the reality she wants. And like as a result, she'll try to like alter the real world into like what she sees in the BARF. That sounds so stupid when you put it that way.
What she sees in the BARF. But yeah, I see what you're going. But yeah, I just, if we're going with that, I just don't know where where Monica Rambeau is gonna fit in. She's gonna be probably just a friend. I don't know where she's gonna fit in. But it's going to be out of all the Disney Plus shows, I'm most excited for this one. First reason, you already know, Scarlet Witch is one of my favorite characters in the MCU and in the comics. Second reason is gonna tie into the film, so that gets me even more excited. Third reason is gonna be freaking weird, so I'm excited for that.
Freaking weird.
And yeah,
I do like to believe that the universe of madness is kind of like connected in that sort of way, but I guess we can explain that later. I think we can just
and Doctor Strange, Scott Derrickson, who directed the first film, is back, and they say it's going to be the first. I put it in the show notes. I put it as the first MCU horror film. They don't actually say horror film in the panel. They say it is going to be the first scary film in the MCU, and a fan shouted like, "Oh no!" And then Kevin Feige just shouted out back, "Gonna be PG-13. It's fine." They're not gonna go. They're gonna go full R-rated in the horror. But once again, Conjuring is PG-13, and that is scary AF. So they could really make it scary. And Scott Derrickson has done he's got some horror works in his past, so I trust him with that. And yeah, like we said, it's gonna reflect the events of WandaVision. And dude, the witch and the sorcerer in the same film, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be it's going to be so much fun whatever they do.
Actually, this is the thing. There's another reason why I like to believe that the Doctor Strange and WandaVision would have like a correlation, is because I think in the comics, if I'm not mistaken, Wanda was trained by Doctor Strange. If I'm not mistaken.
Well, there are several incarnations, but they're always like they're all sort of related in a way that they're so strong that they don't want to really join the fight, because once they join the fight will end. In a way, so they're always grouped together like that. So yeah, and we don't know who the villain in this one is. Rumors is gonna be Nightmare, which is like if they're gonna go horror, Nightmare is a good villain to be. It's sort of like Lucifer character, like a devil character. And yeah, it's going to be nuts. It's a nuts title, and I hope the film is nuts. I'm so excited for it.
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what to expect from that, but I guess it's more of like a psychological related kind of thing.
Full on mad Scarlet Witch, and people, I don't know if people will be pissed because they're gonna make Scarlet Witch lose her mind. But as a Scarlet Witch fan, I'm excited because we've seen her lost her mind multiple times in the comics, and she always snapped back into reality. But it's always whenever she lost her minds, chaos ensues, which is why she's called the Queen of Chaos.
Yeah, I cannot actually do what her to lose her mind. I mean, like in Endgame, she was like so pissed off, like even Thanos couldn't stand against her.
One of my favorite lines too.
Until he ordered the to rain fire. Without that, he would have been dead right on the spot.
I don't even know you. You will. One of my favorite lines. And yeah, I was about to say something, dude. Oh yeah, and if they really, because if this is the whole Phase 4, we don't really see an Avengers. We don't see like a big finale. Like every phase we got an Avengers film. If this is the whole Phase 4, we don't really have a big picture kind of thing. So we don't know what's gonna be yet. But imagine if they're gonna go all out and make Scarlet Witch be like sort of the villain for the next phase. How are the MCU gonna deal with someone who is like close to them? That's going to be something new, you know?
Yeah, like I said, it's a psychological kind of thing. It's gonna be like psychologically related kind of stuff like that. I mean, it'll be a very interesting take. I mean, like if they want to do like that psychological kind of thing, like Scarlet Witch would be a great start. I mean, she's already like she's broken. I don't know, like throughout the movie, like she's broken like piece by piece. Like the people she loves.
She's more broken than Bran. So yeah.
Is Bran
broken?
I don't know. He does not exist to me.
And yeah.
Anyway,
from one mental character to another, we're gonna talk about Loki. What a transition! Loki, spring of 2021, and again, Tom Hiddleston is back, of course, and They confirmed that it's going to the Loki in Infinity War is dead. The Loki in Endgame that you see in 2012 is alive, and that's where you're gonna pick off. He's going to be with the Tesseract, creating chaos and making a mess in the MCU, jumping from time to time, from place to place using the Tesseract. And Tom Hiddleston did emphasize this. This is going to still be the evil Loki. The last thing Loki remembers in this iteration is that he just got smashed by the Hulk, and he's being called a puny god, and so he's pissed. His real evil is still mad. So we're gonna be seeing that version of Loki, not really the mature Loki that we see in Infinity War. So that's going to be must be fun for Tom Hiddleston to play that role again, and it's fun for us to revisit that kind of role for Loki once again.
I mean, yeah, actually, I mean, like Loki is one of the most like favorite characters, and they do like him because of that. Like, they like him because of that quality of him, that like his evilness. Yeah. So and this is gonna be like a series, right? Like another Disney Plus. Yeah, another like Disney Plus series. So I'm just like wondering like what's gonna get involved, to be honest, like what other characters are going to appear. Like is this gonna be is this like a personal vendetta against like the Avengers because they kicked his ass?
The fact that he got Tesseract doesn't it really no, I just realized this because you pointed out it really does not constrict it to like one location. He can literally go full cosmic. He can go all over the place on Earth that we haven't seen in the MCU. He can there's literally no boundaries to this one, and I don't know. I don't think Tesseract can transport you through time, but if it can,
no, it's space.
Yeah, if it can though, that will be nuts too. It will be very much like if you see the CW show Legends of Tomorrow. It's gonna be something like that. Mm-hmm. But if not, it's just jumping from time to time is still a lot of fun. And yeah, we don't know the rest of the cast or who's gonna be back in here, but for now it's only Loki that's confirmed.
But when is the release date for that? Oh, just a spring.
Yeah, no. And one funny thing, because I really don't know what else to say about this one, because they don't really talk much about it. But one funny thing, Kevin Feige mentioned it when he's hosting it. He's like, so you remember the Loki in Endgame where he used the Tesseract to run away? Well, he's going to be running away and having a lot of adventure going from place to place. But the first place that he'll be visiting is this very Hall H panel. Loki, come on in, and then Tom Hiddleston welcome. So they say that is canon that he went to Hall H. But yeah, you have anything else about the Loki? Because I don't. Literally, I really don't know it.
Do you know anything? What else they said in Comic-Con about Loki?
Not much. Really that's all they said. We don't really get a cast anything else like Tom Hiddleston, but that's all we know, which is sort of a lot. But yeah.
All right, then I guess we kind of have to like leave him at that for the moment.
One additional thing that I'll just say, there has been multiple iterations of Loki. There has been a female Loki, there has been a kid Loki, there has been old man Loki. So if somehow they're gonna mess with that,
A universe of Lokis.
if they're gonna mess with that, that's going to be fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know why I just thought of this. Kristen Stewart as a female Loki will be so perfect.
She already kind of like got the look.
Yeah, I know. Oh god. Anyway, Summer 2021, the first animated series by the MCU, and oh, sorry if I didn't iterate this earlier. The Netflix shows, the Hulu shows, the ABC shows, they're not managed by the MCU. They're not managed by Kevin Feige. These shows on Disney Plus are overseen by Kevin Feige, and so yeah, that's just a big addition, important stuff to it. And the What If series on Summer 2021, first animated series, I don't know how many episodes, also overlooked by Kevin Feige and the MCU. Almost all the actors / actresses from the MCU will reprise their role in the show. There is a huge slideshow showing all the cast is going to be back, a lot of them that you're familiar with. Almost everyone is going to be back reprising the role as voice acting, of course, so that's going to be great. And Jeffrey Wright, who you might know, if he got a lot of big roles. You've seen the Hunger Games, right? He played in the Hunger Games as one of the former champions in Catching Fire.
Yeah.
And he's going to be voicing the Watcher, which we see in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So he's going to be voicing that. He got an awesome voice too, so it's going to be fun. He's also in Casino Royale, Jeffrey Wright. So we're going to be seeing the Watcher. And they said, since it's a What If series, the thing is, if it's going to be like an anthology, like every episode is going to be something different. I'm assuming that's going to be it, right? And Jeffrey Wright mentioned this during the panel, which sort of like lingers in my mind, which is like, the Watcher is supposed to be this like cosmic beings who's supposed to just watch and not interfere, and we're just supposed to observe. But sometimes they get curious, and sometimes they might accidentally interfere. And I'm like, is that where the What If is gonna be happening? Like he accidentally interfered with something, and that's where it's gonna spin off with,
Is that what you think the What If means? Like, what if he did this?
Yeah, like he interfered with something and it creates the alternate universe. That's the thing. Maybe he's the one who's the cause of it. Because like he's the only one that's being, he's the only person that's pulled on stage on this panel. So he must play a pretty big role in the show. And I think one of them that has been confirmed is that what if Peggy Carter is Captain America? So Hayley Atwell is going to be back, and it's going to be exciting to see what that's going to be like,
I think there was actually a female Captain America, but it's not Carter. It's not her. It's just someone else.
Yeah, I don't.
Forgot that.
I think
it was from that mobile game I played. I had her character.
Right. The Marvel Contest of Champions.
No, not Contest of Champions. The other one, the Alliance one. I think I forgot what it's
called. I don't know what that is, but yeah. But yeah, there has been. I mean, what if in Marvel is a thing that they have done in the comics for so long. The same thing as DC Elseworlds, which is an alternate universe of what if something happened. Like the most famous one that I know in the comics is what if Gwen Stacy didn't die. And like a what if that has been famous and spin off is that what if Gwen Stacy was the one that becomes Spider-Man, and it becomes big, and now that's why we got Spider-Gwen. It started off from a what if series. So it's.
So wait, is that how what if works? It's just like what if this happens, what if that, and then it just creates like different realities.
Some of them are just like one-off, like the what if Gwen Stacy didn't die. That's like a one-off thing. But some of them really take off, like, which is why Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen exists. That's based on a what if as well. So, this could be really fun, and seeing all different universe. And I'll put you on the spot right now. What is a what if that you want to see?
Something does it have to be something like related to the MCU or?
Yeah, MCU, of course, in the MCU.
Shit.
A joke answer that I just want to point out is that what if Baskin Robbins never find out?
can't believe you went all the way back there. I mean, that's like
It's funny. I tweeted this out the other day. Like, what if series that they want to see, and then like I reply on a tweet, what if Baskin Robbins never found out, and then someone replied to me, Baskin Robbins always find out in every universe. I'm like, oh shoot.
I know, but what if they didn't? You're just gonna keep hitting them back with that.
Yeah, if what I want to see in a what if is that, damn it, this is hard.
I don't know. Like, I swear to God, when I was watching, there was a lot of questions. If I'm like, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened? Now I'm just like, my mind's blank when you're on the spot, man.
You know what? I sort of have one. But
What?
you remember how in Ant-Man, they chose Hank chose Scott Lang because he's more expendable than Hope. But what if in the first film? What if Hope becomes Ant-Man? And Scott Lang just never got the role, and there's no Wasp, and just Hope becomes Ant-Man. That could spin off to something not very interesting, I guess, but it's a what if.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that does count. Trying to think of a more. Let's see if I can.
I'm gonna Google most famous what if stuffs. Marvel. But while we're talking about that, let's transition at the same time to Hawkeye, and we're gonna revisit the what if thingy. But Hawkeye, we're gonna seeing it in fall 2021. Reiner is back. They confirmed that Kate Bishop, which is Hawkeye from the comics from the West Coast Avengers, dun dun dun.
Wait, I actually did go to the what if now.
What?
What if Peter was not snapped away? I wonder how that will end up. I mean, he was already in the I mean, like, what is it? Like, the only one who didn't get snapped, what was it? Is it only Tony and Nebula? Is it? Like, he's gonna be like in space. He's also gonna be like old too, dude. He's gonna be like 21. Is it 21? Yeah, it is 21. Yeah.
Right.
So like, you get an older Peter, like, cause Miles Morales is already. He technically exists already, right? In the MCU, he was mentioned.
Sort of, yeah. They never mentioned Miles, I think.
They didn't mention him directly, but they did. I mean, like, his uncle was there.
Yeah.
Oh, Childish Gambino.
Yeah. Then Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. It's probably not the most interesting one, but it's still going to it's probably gonna have like a massive effect. I don't know.
I mean, like, what if?
I assume it's gonna have a massive effect.
Like, what if Spider-Man didn't do crime fighting and he stick with the wrestling stuff, Or what if Captain America was never revived? Maybe he just died. He just flying on the ground and just died.
What if Nick Fury digged up the wrong eyes? Is Captain America still stuck there? He's like, well, we didn't find anything. God damn it.
When you said eyes, what I heard is eyes. So I'm like, what? I'm confused. What if Nick Fury is both of his eyes got scratched?
What if Nick Fury then lost his eye?
What if he lost both of his eyes?
He's gonna use both of them as like the scanner.
Like, what if the sharp panel?
What if Brie Larson never existed and ruined everything?
What?
I'm trying to trigger you. Say Brie Larson.
What if the sharp panel hits Tony's heart and he never survived?
Well, there you go then. The whole MCU never happened.
Exactly.
We'll be bored. We'll never make this episode. Oh no. Oh no, just like all of a sudden all our like 20 something episodes just disappear from the internet.
Yeah.
We never became friends. We never talked about anything. This is going too far.
Yep. Anyway, I think we're good with what if. Let's move on to Hawkeye. So yes, I said fall 2021. Jeremy Renner is gonna be back as Hawkeye. They confirmed Kate Bishop is going to be there, and Clint is going to be mentoring Kate. And we're gonna learn more about the Ronin version of Hawkeye. We're gonna explore more of that in the show. Timeline-wise, it's supposed to be. I don't think they confirmed timeline-wise, but I'm assuming it's after Endgame, which is. I don't know how it ties in. I want to hear what you think of this, Ariq. How it ties in with Ronin, because I feel like he gave up the Ronin life after Endgame. But I'm excited for Kate Bishop because fans have said this. Also, I feel like I also agree with this. Kate is the better Hawkeye than Clint like just character-wise and personality-wise, Kate is just more likable. And yeah, maybe we're gonna be seeing West Coast Avengers for the first time because Kate Bishop is known for West Coast Avengers. Dun dun dun.
I've never heard of the West Coast.
It's literally Avengers in LA. That's literally West Coast Avengers. It's their own group. But yeah, what do you think of this Hawkeye show?
Wait, is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a series on Disney Plus.
Oh, it's a series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's the Ronin thing, in my opinion, it's like it takes place between Infinity War and Endgame because there's a considerable time gap. It's 5 years. That's quite a big time gap. That's like enough to fit a lot of stories in there. A lot can happen in 5 years.
That is true.
And basically, like, I think we're gonna see him like it's probably going to begin like when his family disappeared in Endgame. It's gonna start from there, and then he's gonna like slowly
very
become
possible,
more like
yeah.
you can see like more evil, more menacing. Then he'll take the mantle of Ronin, and then I guess the series will end at the Natasha. Natasha finally met up with him.
Yeah, but I just
I mean, like a lot of things could happen. Like they didn't really mention Ronin in Endgame. They just like say, "Oh, he's Ronin." That's
but
it.
the thing I like your theory, but the thing with that is I don't see him mentoring Kate Bishop during the time as him as Ronin. Like he is so full of grief and vengeance. He's not gonna mentor anyone,
Right. Like his main focus is just
killing.
Actually, I don't know what his main
He's
focus is.
trying to kill the people who didn't get
insane.
snapped. He's trying to kill people who didn't get snapped, and if he likes
He kills bad people who didn't
Yeah.
get snapped, and he thinks that they deserved it or something.
But yeah, I feel like it's going to be after, and if they're gonna be exploring Ronin, it might be a bit of flashback of like he does something and sort of like a flashback of like, oh, when he was a Ronin, he did this, blah blah blah, and trying to be a better man once again. But yeah, I'm excited to see Kate Bishop. Don't know who the casting is, whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it. And if they're gonna remotely even touch West Coast Avengers, dun dun dun. I'm gonna do that every time I say West Coast Avengers, dun dun dun. So, yeah.
Don't do that.
Like
I will unsubscribe.
in the comics, Mockingbird, War Machine, Hawkeye. I'm just gonna mention some of them that has been in the West Coast Avengers, dun dun dun. In the comics, the Wasp has been there, Scarlet Witch and Vision has been there. So yeah, going to be fun to see. West Coast Avengers, dun dun dun. It's getting old already. Jesus.
I mean, it's not like West Coast Avengers is mentioned yet.
No, but I wish they do though, because like everyone is based in New York. What if something bad happened in LA?
Screw
They
LA.
need a different. The Avengers is so big. They need to start spreading apart. They need to start dividing the stuff. They need to go international.
It's not international. It's just 2 cities in America.
Exactly. We got a protector in Wakanda. We got Shang-Chi in China, I think. We gotta start going international. And yeah, talking about international, it might go as well as cosmic, because the next one that we're gonna talk about is Thor, Love and Thunder, which is, by the way, Thor, Love and Thunder, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. Damn, Marvel is going nuts on their titles this phase, and I love it.
Yeah, Love and Thunder. I'm confused with that.
It's so good. Love and Thunder.
Love story.
You would never expect that to be a title of a Marvel film. Love and Thunder, and it's so perfect. It's so perfect that first of all, have you seen the actual font of the logo of Thor: Love and Thunder? That font is so metal.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And Taika Waititi is directing it.
It's very extravagant,
Yeah. Especially after Ragnarok, with what they did with what Taika did, it feels very metal. It feels very 80s and 90s, So Love and Thunder bringing that back. Taika Waititi directing once again, did a great job in Ragnarok. Hemsworth is back. Tessa Thompson is back, and the big reveal: Natalie Portman is gonna be back as Jane Foster, and she's gonna be wielding the hammer. She's gonna be wielding Mjolnir. I don't know how it's gonna be happening because Mjolnir is broken. Maybe there's gonna be a new Mjolnir or whatever. I don't know. But
it was with Captain. It was let's see last with Captain.
They brought it back to 2014.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and so I don't know what that's gonna be like, but though they never they did
It's a new
they
hammer.
didn't confirm that Portman is going to be the mighty Thor, like in the comics, but Taika Waititi mentioned that when he was doing Thor Ragnarok, he was reading Jason Aaron's Mighty Thor run, and Jason Aaron's Mighty Thor is one of the, in terms of the newer edition of Thor comic series, that's one of the best ones. And in that Mighty Thor saga as well, that's when Jane Foster got the cancer. That's where she's able to wield the Mjolnir. She becomes worthy and she becomes the new Thor. And Thor just goes by the name of Odinson. And so she's the Queen of Thunder, or the King of Thunder. And yeah, also they mentioned in the panel that Valkyrie will be the King of Asgard. And she strictly said King of Asgard, not Queen. However, she'll be looking for her Queen. So in a sense that it's confirming that she is queer. And that's also she's going to be helping refugee for New Asgard, as Asgard is the people and not the place. So I have no clue what the storyline is going to be like. Like, I don't know what villain they're going to be doing, but we can sort of hint that it's going to be Tessa Thompson. Valkyrie is going to be being like a ruler of Asgard. We're going to be seeing Natalie Portman trying to be wielding the hammer. We don't know much of what's going to be happening with Chris Hemsworth, though. So I don't know. What do you think of this, Ariq?
So I guess based on the title Love and Thunder, I don't know. I just assume it's going to. Oh, no. It's going to. I'm assuming it's going to revolve mainly around Natalie Portman's character and Jane Foster and Thor, because like, it's something to do with their relationship, probably,
Exactly.
most likely. I mean, like, the thing is, they kind of just left the relationship at Thor 2, and
And
we don't talk
in Thor
about
3,
that
they all
movie.
just said it's a mutual breakup. That's all they said.
Yeah, that's all they said. It's just a mutual breakup. Because the last time they explored the relationship was in Thor 2, and that movie was garbage. Absolute garbage.
It's not the
So
well.
it's
It's
like,
not as soon
it
as you
is.
see Batman and
It is.
Robin, you will not think that anymore.
I already saw Cat in the Hat. Okay,
Oh,
that's.
yeah.
Okay, I mean, I mean, The Dark World is still better than a lot
By
of
the way,
movies I've
I just
watched.
wanna. How ballsy would it be if Marvel? Imagine if Hemsworth is not that much in this film, and this film will be heavy on Tessa Thompson and Natalie Portman, and Hemsworth will be just joining as Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And this will not be Hemsworth's film, but it's gonna be called Thor: Love and Thunder because Natalie Portman will be the Thor. How ballsy will Marvel be if that's actually what they did? Do you think that's possible at all? What are the chances, you think, if that's the case?
So you're saying like Chris is not gonna be the lead role in
Yeah,
this
it's gonna be
movie?
just he's gonna be minor. He's gonna having a minor role.
Actually, I didn't think about it that way. I was like, huh. Actually, when you brought it up, I guess that kind of makes some sense in a way. Like like I mean,
I
like,
don't.
he's still gonna have like a big role, but it's not gonna be the main role.
Yeah, because also I don't know. Maybe it's because Hemsworth didn't talk much in the panel, and they just let Tessa and Natalie because they're sort of like the stars of the panel. Because we know where Thor is at, but we don't. We're like Natalie Portman, literally the big reveal. No one thought she's gonna be back, so that's like the biggest conversation starter. So maybe that's why I sort of overlooked Thor right now. But literally, Marvel would be so ballsy if that's what they really do.
Ballsy, but I'm not so sure though. Like, will people even like it or
I
not?
don't know if they will,
I
but
mean,
it's crazy.
Thor is definitely like by far one of the most like likable characters for most of the fans. It's a bit it's a bit weird if they're kind of like denying him of his own movie.
Exactly.
But then again, if he does appear in Guardians of the Galaxy, that'll be.
That'll be fun.
I mean, yeah, I definitely enjoyed that. I mean, he obviously got along with the crew
Yeah.
very well.
By the way, breaking news. Well, not really breaking news. It's just a news just broke. Thor: Love and Thunder and Shang-Chi is gonna be filming in Australia. That's it. That's it.
Okay, but why is the Shang-Chi
I don't
in
know.
Australia?
The director is from Hawaii, and I don't know why they're doing it in Australia.
The director's from Hawaii. The movie takes place in like
Supposed to
probably
be.
China, but it's filmed in Australia.
Plot twist: the whole film takes place in Chinatown. The actual Mandarin is just like the mob boss of the Chinatown.
Oh my god.
Anyway, final topic of the day. once the whole Marvel thing is done, they're talking like, all right, Kevin Feige is like, let's see the whole picture again. They show the whole lineup of Phase 4, and like, hey, you guys want to see one more thing? Yeah, everyone is screaming, and then like everyone's already on stage. The
You know where this is
whole
going.
the whole cast is already on stage. They're all having a Black Widow hat, Phase 4 Black Widow hat, and then Kevin Feige is like, all right. Coming onto the stage, two-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali, and then everyone's like going nuts. Yeah, some people's like confused. I'm guessing Cottonmouth is here because you might know him from Luke Cage, but like Mahershala Ali is here, and then like Kevin Feige's like, Mahershala, welcome. I see that you have your own hat. What does it say? And he just used the hat and writing Blade, and then like the whole theater just pitch black, and then they turn black up the light, and there's writing Blade on the big screen, and people just lost their mind, because like.
I didn't see the reveals.
Because like
would have been spectacular though.
all of everything else has been rumored. Like Disney Plus stuff has been rumored. The Shang-Chi and the Eternal stuff has been rumored but never confirmed. Eternals as well. But like Blade has never even been rumored at all, and out of nowhere it's just there.
Yeah, like Blade is not rumored. It's just like something people, wish to see, kind of thing.
And yeah, some people were like pissed because they wish Wesley Snipes will be back. There are some bit of back. There's a there is a
sure,
bit
like
of backlash.
MCU would like to change new actor.
The only argument for this is J.K. Simmons, but
Fuck.
what?
Wait.
What just happened?
That was so scary. My whole thing just lagged out. And when you were talking, you sounded like a dying robot, like a dying menacing Terminator, like
I thought something horrible happened on your end. But yeah.
I think it is at my end. That's why I was like,
But
never
yeah,
mind.
as I was saying, there was a bit of backlash recently, but Wesley Snipes go on Twitter and saying that he fully. I'm gonna see if I can check his Twitter right now, but it's like he's fully saying that I'm fully in support of this and don't hate on it. And where is it? Let's see.
But Wesley Snipes actually said this.
Yes. Vampires breaking news. Message from the Daywalker. Hey MCU, haven't we been down this road before? Ah yeah, some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. Ha ha ha. I have no idea what that means. But I believe he's like even though he wanna be back, maybe he's gonna make some cameo one way or another. But I feel like he's totally respecting MCU's choice of doing so. And once again, unexpected. No release date yet. I believe if they say it's going to be part of Phase 5, because there's no release. But if they change their mind, they could put it in Phase 4. And yeah, I really don't know what this come up about. What's it gonna be like? And it's going to be exciting. Mahershala Ali is here, and which is why I'm just now when I talk to you, because they say that it's not related to Cottonmouth. Kevin Feige said it in an interview with Collider.
Yeah.
So. What if the Netflix universe are on a separate universe? It's on a separate universe, but on the same multiverse, which is why they can have Mahershala Ali back in here.
I'm pretty sure that's just a choice they made. I don't think the choice of like actor they use is related at all.
But they could always do that. And yeah, we didn't even.
Or isn't Blade isn't he like part vampire or something according to his story or something? Yeah, there you go. He didn't actually die when he got killed by Maria.
I've never seen the Blade film. That's on my watch list because I need to study for the trivia stuff. But I believe he's called a Daywalker. I believe his part. I think his mom was bitten by a vampire and he become part vampire. I think.
I mean, I only watched the Wesley Snipes one. I'm not sure of how true it is to the comics.
Right. Yeah. I never read the Blade comics as well, but yeah, it should be. It's not gonna be R-rated. They confirmed that, but should be still interesting. Sony is working on his own vampire film with Morbius, and now MC is doing Blade, so we'll see. And yeah, Kevin Feige mentioned on the panel, the last thing that he said was like, we got so much stuff to talk about, but we don't have enough time. But we didn't even mention Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, the Fantastic Four, and of course the Mutants. So all of those have been confirmed to be part of the MCU. We're just not going to be seeing it anytime soon. I'm assuming it's going to be part of Phase 5. And the fact is, we've talked about a lot of these movies. This is only going to cover the next 2 years, 2020 and 2021. So Phase 5 is going to be, Phase 5, if it's going to be happening, it's going to be happening in 2022, which is in 3 years' time. And it's not that long ago, because 3 years ago, we just watched Civil War. And now we're in Endgame. We're past Endgame already, so it feels so fast.
Everything went so fast. Like we started that kind of like when we're still in high school now.
Exactly. So, Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, Fantastic Four, Mutants, they're all coming to MCU in 2 years' time. I'm assuming, confirm it sometime sooner. But yeah, that is pretty much
Just
it.
that the fact that they actually confirm it. That's actually quite surprising.
Yeah, I know. I thought they were gonna save it. Maybe they're gonna do it in D23, which is their Disney Expo, but I doubt it. They're gonna probably save it for next year. But yeah, because they got a lot to cover this already. But yeah, that is.
We had a lot to cover right now.
So that is all the marvelous stuff from Marvel San Diego Comic Con. You have any additional final things you want to say about the Marvel segment before we move on to the last segment of the show? Sort of.
I think I read somewhere that they were going to like for the mutants they're going to cast like Wolverine. They were thinking of what, that Eggsy, Taron Egerton or something.
Yeah, I heard a rumor. I don't know.
It's a rumor. Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. But he can. I can see him. He's buff. I've never seen him with a beard. But it could be interesting.
He still looks kind of young. That's the thing. He kind of looks like Tom Holland. To be honest.
That's true. But yeah, we'll see. Although one more, I do have a question. Well, it's a rhetorical question. I'm not expecting you to answer it. I wonder what Marvel will do with the New Mutants. If that's going to be part of a canon, if it's going to be part of MCU, I hope not. Because I know they're refilming and everything, but I don't want it to be the first thing of mutants that we see in the cinematic universe. Plus, they're releasing it next year, and it's not part of the slate. So maybe it's going to be like a spin-off thing, But yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so the New Mutants, that's not a part of the, what is it, the Fox universe or whatever it's called?
Well, yeah, they didn't even mention Deadpool and stuff, so I don't know if it's going to... Deadpool, we know is going to be... Disney's going to make more Deadpool films, and they're going to release New Mutants like next year, but I don't think it's going to be part of the MCU. Because maybe if it is, it's going to be like an Elseworld. It will be like how Joker is not part of DCEU, So they're going to do it something like that.
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah.
Well, it's funny. Like New Mutants were supposed to be released like 2 years ago.
Exactly. That's so sad. Maisie Williams is all grown up. Anya Taylor-Joy is all grown up. Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things is also supposed to be there. But yeah.
Oh well. So definitely not the movie to look forward to.
And yeah, for our final segment for the show, we're gonna be doing something called the minor. I'm just making this up on the go. I'm calling it the minor roundtable, because we have a bunch of topics that I'm going to be reading out loud. I'm going to be doing it in the most entertaining way possible, and Ariq and me is going to be picking some of them that we think is going to be the most exciting one that we want to talk about, that we want to discuss. We have several. We're okay right now. We're running on 1 hour 30 minutes. But I think we can talk about several of the films that we're gonna be talking here and TV shows. So I'm gonna be doing it starting right now. So the minor roundtable of this week, starting off, Top Gun Maverick. Finally, we got a trailer for Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise is back after his 20 years. I believe it's 20 years since the first Top Gun. I've still not yet seen the first Top Gun film, but we've seen.
You sad.
I know, very sad.
You're so sad.
But Tom Cruise is back. He's returning in the Air Force for some clear reason. We'll find out in the trailer. We don't really know what happened in the trailer, like why he's back, but we'll find out in the movie. But there's a trailer for Top Gun Maverick.
In Top Gun.
It Chapter 2 dropping another trailer, I believe. I don't know if this is. I don't think this is the final trailer yet, but they dropped another trailer. It's quite gory. It's quite eerie. It's exciting because I'm a fan of it. But in Chapter 2, they just dropped a trailer, and they also revealed that Jessica Chastain will be involved in it's been confirmed that it's going to be the bloodiest scene in cinematic history. So we'll see what it's going to be like. Terminator Dark Fate, they have a panel and they have a featurette. They didn't release a trailer, but this is the new Terminator film that they say is going to be taking place right after they're removing Terminator Genesis. I'm saying Genesis on purpose, not Genesis. They're removing Terminator Genesis, Terminator 4, and Terminator 3 out of canon, so they're going to be taking place right after Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Dark Fate, Sarah Connor is back. Edward Furlong, who's played John Connor, is going to be back in this film as well. So they release a featurette, everything like that. The Witcher on Netflix, they released a trailer. I reacted to it on my channel. No clue what it's all about, but it's going to be a series. Henry Cavill is in that thing. And Dark Crystal, Age of Renaissance is another series that's going to be airing, I believe, on Amazon Prime. And it's everything. First of all, the cast is unbelievable. I'm going to check the cast right now because I don't have it right now because it's too much. But everything, it's very what's his name? What's the creator of the Muppets? John Hansen. John Hansen? Yes, John Hansen. John Hansen is very John Hansen. As by that I mean everything. If you see the trailer, you're going to lose your mind because everything is puppets, and it's crazy the details that they have in that thing. The details is crazy and everything is in puppets and it's incredible. And the voice cast that I'm gonna read is, I believe Dark Crystal is a movie in the 80s, and they're gonna do a series of this Age of Renaissance. Taron Egerton is going to be there. Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be there. Natalie Emmanuel, you might know from Game of Thrones, is going to be there. Helena Bonham Carter, you might know from the Harry Potter series or Tim Burton films. She's gonna be there. Toby Jones, also known for Harry Potter, has his role as Dobby or in the MCU as well, gonna be there. Gugu Mbatha Raw, you might know from Beauty and the Beast, she's gonna be there. Alicia Vikander is gonna be there. Lena Headey is going to be there. Hannah John Kamen, you might know as Ghost in MCU, is gonna be there. Natalie Dormer, you might know from Game of Thrones, is gonna be there. Mark Strong, you might know from all his other films, is gonna be there as well. Theo James from the Divergent film is gonna be there. And Simon Pegg is gonna be there. Aquafina is gonna be there. Jason Isaacs is gonna be there. Benedict Wong, Andy Samberg, Keegan Michael Key, Mark Hamill. Oh my God, there's more. Wow, there is so much. Sigourney Weaver is gonna be there as well. Holy shit, this cast is. I just realized this cast is this amazing. Oh my God, right now I'm realizing this much right now, and that's crazy. And it's all puppets. So if you haven't checked out the trailer, it's crazy. You gotta check it out. Avengers game footage. We saw the game footage. Nothing much to say. Star Trek Picard and Star Trek Discovery Season 3. The teaser trailer is there. Once again, Jean-Luc Picard, played by Patrick Stewart, is gonna be back in the series, his own show. Westworld Season 3. I don't think you watch Westworld, Ariq, don't you? I don't know. I don't watch. I don't watch it as well.
I know it's famous, but
I don't watch it as well. But they have Season 3 trailer. Cats. It's something. They did release something. I don't know if I can qualify that as a trailer, but yep, Cats. And his Dark Materials is another TV show that's I believe dropping on HBO. James McAvoy and Daphne Keane, you might know her from Logan, starring in this trailer about how do I describe it? It's about like an organization that kidnap kids in a dark way. So yeah, that's it. Jay and Silent Bob reboot is based on a Jay and Silent Bob film franchise by Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. Never seen Jay and Silent Bob or Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, but I saw the trailer for this one. I made a reaction to it and I'm excited to it. The first scene on this trailer was a mangina, and that directly grabbed my attention.
Of course it did.
David Desmalchian, you might know from Ant-Man, is in here. Ben Affleck is in the trailer as well. Rosario Dawson is in the trailer as well. So yep. Arrowverse, Arrow Season 8, final season. They say farewell to Stephen Amell. For Flash Season 6, Supergirl Season 5, Batwoman Season 1, all the trailers is dropping in Arrowverse. And the big news from the Arrowverse is that they're going to be doing the Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is one of the biggest DC Comics events. They're going to be doing it for the crossover event because they do it every year. And it's been confirmed Brendan Routh, who you might know from Superman Returns, is going to be reprising his role as Superman in this series because he's playing Atom in the Legends of Tomorrow. But it's going to be, because it's going to be multiverse and shit, is going to be playing Superman as well. So that's going to be exciting. Halloween has 2 sequels that have been confirmed for for 2020 and 2021 called Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Very horrible title, but you know what can they do? Imagine they really cannot put the title as November 1st because that's a horrible title. But I guess if they want to end Halloween, if they want to end Halloween, that's a good title to do so. And yeah, this is the next 4 are not Comic-Con stuff, but they just dropped throughout the weekend. I just want to talk about it. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, starring Tom Hanks playing the roles of Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. You might see the documentary last year, which got snubbed in the Oscars, but it was a very good documentary. And he's going to be playing Mr. Rogers in a very charming trailer. The Boys, which is a trailer for, I believe, Amazon as well, is a take of what if all the superheroes in the world are using their fame for being evil and taking their fame for granted. So imagine all those, imagine like the snobbish celebrities, but instead of celebrities, there are superheroes. So imagine that. And then Jojo Rabbit. Taika Waititi plays Hitler. And Scarlett Johansson is in there. That's all you need to know. There's a trailer that dropped. And Zombieland 2 Double Tap that just dropped last night at the time of this recording. Made a trailer reaction as well. And yep, it's an interesting trailer. So Ariq, out of all of those, which one sparks your interest the most?
Let's see. Top Gun, I actually kind of forgot what it is. I wasn't a big fan, but you know, still a good movie. Terminator, nah. I'll just hold on to The Witcher for a while. Avengers trailer, no, doesn't matter. They already released at the E3.
You want to talk about cats?
Not sure what else. Like, there's a lot of the trailers you put down here. I didn't really actually watch them.
Right.
like the ones near the bottom, especially, except Zombieland 2, because that's the one I showed you. That's the one I showed out. I showed you. It's actually quite difficult. Oh wait, I didn't even notice you put Star Trek in there.
Yeah, you pick part and Star Trek Discovery.
Is that gonna be like
There's a series.
Oh, it's a series. Oh shit, a modern take. Is it? Let's see. If only I don't really watch the Arrowverse. God damn it, I don't know.
Well, I'll just say it first then. I'll start with the Zombieland Double Tap. First of all, I'm excited for it. It looks fun. The whole cast is back, and first of all, the crazy thing that I'm thinking back, I didn't realize the first Zombieland film was R-rated until I watched it again literally, I think last month. It was on Netflix and I have nothing to do, and I'm like, yeah, let's watch Zombieland again. And it was R-rated. I didn't know that. So.
What do you mean? What do you mean you just saw that R-rated?
No.
A lot of people died violently there.
Okay, that's the thing. This is the first R-rated film that I ever saw when I was a child. My cousin introduced it to me. Edward, my cousin, introduced it to me way back, and I really adore it. And back then, I didn't know it was R-rated. I didn't know about those ratings. And I'm thinking back, I think that might be my very first R-rated film. So I'm excited for this one.
Oh, my God, that's your first R-rated film?
Yeah.
Wow. You innocent boy.
It's on 2009, and so it's 10 years after. And the fact is, the cast is all back, and they're like, you saw the trailer, right? Rick?
One of them looks different.
Abigail Breslin. I mean, she grew up.
Yeah, she looks uglier.
Wow.
What?
But yeah, no. The reason why I'm talking about the trailer, you saw the trailer. Academy Award nominee Woody Harrelson. Academy Award nominee Jesse Eisenberg. Academy Award nominee Abigail Breslin. Academy Award winner Emma Stone. They have gone so far since the first movie that I'm surprised they're willing to all come back, especially Emma Stone, because she's like, I feel like, not like. Maybe it's fun because maybe it's fun filming this shooting. It's not every day that you shoot a gun. They don't really shoot guns on La La Land, and so maybe that's why Emma Stone is excited to be in this one, you know. But they're like they all.
She got nominated for like Oscars
favorite
and shit,
La La
and then,
Land.
then she plays a
in
movie
Zombieland.
like this.
Exactly, you know, you don't see that coming. But it's fun seeing the whole cast back, and Zoe Deutsch is also back in here. I firmly remember, Ariq, and I'm gonna shout this out on the show. I firmly remember, you had a crush on Zoe Deutsch in Sweet Life on Deck. She plays Maya, which is Zach's girlfriend.
Who?
Zach have a girlfriend named Maya, and I firmly
remember.
remember you had a crush on her. I'm just gonna throw it out in here.
Did I say I had a crush on Bailey? No.
Do you?
I didn't.
Do you?
I mean, I think I did, but I didn't say it. I mean, I think that's the one I liked more.
But yeah, Zoe Deutsch.
I think it was Bailey's the one I liked more, not her. What?
Well, maybe it's someone else's crush. I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know. I think it's your crush. You're just
I've always been
blaming
a
it
fan
on
of
me.
Zoe Deutsch ever since Sweet Life on Deck. I like her on Set It Up and everything too. But yeah, she's gonna be there. Avon Jogia from Victorious is there. I'm pretty sure I'm the only. I didn't watch other people's trailer reaction, but I'm pretty sure I overreacted when I see Avon Jogia because I'm like, oh, he's a guy from Victorious, Avon Jogia. Because I've never seen him in anything. I've never seen him in anything else, and I'm surprised he's in this film. He's the one in the trailer. He's the one that become Wichita's, which is Abigail Breslin, Wichita's boyfriend or something. And we also see Rosario Dawson in that trailer. And I believe it was in the end. I think it's Luke Wilson at the end. But yeah. So it's a great cast. Ruben Fleischer, and they're going to be on a road and everything. So it's gonna be fun. So yeah, that's the first for me. You wanna pick one at least that you wanna talk about?
You know what? Let's just go because I'm already playing a video game right now. Might as well go with The Witcher from Netflix. I mean, I know you reacted to it and you're basically completely confused with the whole thing.
Yeah.
And on top of that, the formatting was a bit janky at the
Yeah.
time. The format kind of reflects on your understanding
Let's
of
not talk about
of
that.
the whole thing. Okay, so I don't know. We're gonna talk about the actual Witcher thing. To be honest, like I don't think I've seen like a series based on a video game. I mean, it's actually no, it's not based on a video game. It said it was based on the novel, but what most people know is probably the video game since it's like one of the top selling best games of 20 whenever it was released 2015 I think. Yeah, like to be honest, like I kind of have like high expectations for it to be honest because the Witcher like series is like I guess a lot of I can't really say it for myself, but a lot of the people that actually played the game and completed the story and everything, or actually read the novels, would say that it's the world is like extremely rich. It's like it's full of magic. It's full of like that kind of stuff. Like imagine Game of Thrones combined with Lord of the Rings, and you add a lot of gore.
Yeah, that's
That's
a
what
lot,
you get.
though. That's a lot.
That's what you can. That's what Witcher kind of is really. Like it's full of like these magical things and all that. To be honest, if they get like proper budget and everything, I mean they even hired Henry Cavill. I mean I'm pretty sure they do have a proper budget. It's going to look. I mean if it's not gonna, if the story's not gonna be good, it's at least going to look spectacular. At least in my opinion. So yeah, I mean I was actually kind of surprised that they dropped the trailer, because I thought the Witcher's like that kind of thing that you just never expect to become like a series or a movie or whatever.
But yeah,
It's actually I'm kind of like looking forward
okay,
to
so
it.
that answers my question.
Especially after they canceled like pretty much most of the Marvel Netflix. I'm just like I'm just like I'm just like, well, there's nothing to look forward to at Netflix except for Jessica Jones. Fuck cares about Jessica Jones. Don't like her.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, I think we so you answered my question. I was about to say if you're excited, but you are. So yeah, I think we have one more. We have time to do one more.
Cats.
I feel like we should talk about Cats, man. And yeah, I'm just.
I haven't watched the trailer to be honest. I didn't
You know what?
see it.
Do you want to do a live trailer reaction right now for you?
I mean, can you? Is it
I mean, like
possible?
no, I cannot. I don't know if I can play because I don't have the clip right now. I mean, like we can just see your reaction. You can watch it right now and we can see your reaction.
Yeah, can I like open? Like, no, let me open. Let me just
You know
open
what?
it directly here.
Let's open it directly and let's watch it together. Let's click play on the same time and we'll react it again.
Okay, let me
Because
open.
I'll just find one from Universal's. Is it Universal?
It says Universal Pictures.
Columbia. Okay, Universal Pictures. Universal Pictures. By the way, yeah, I there's two trailers on Comic-Con weekend that I had the reaction of both of this face. And
Holy crap! 250,000
do you see the dislike? The dislike
Yes.
is nuts.
What the hell?
It's 3-4 times, and yeah, I showed it to my mom, and my mom like, what the hell? But yeah, before we start
What?
the trailer reaction together, I had this face for Cats in disgust, like, and I had the same face, similar face for Jay and Silent Bob's reboot because it looks so bonkers and so fun. Because once again, them in China, but it looks so much fun. I have no clue what the film's gonna be about, but Kevin Smith I trust. But yeah, let's do the Cats trailer. Playing it.
Wait.
Okay,
I
you
have
do
a
the count.
problem.
You do the countdown, and I click it as well.
Okay, wait. Let me turn on the volume first. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh God, I don't want to see this trailer again. Why? Oh God, it looks so bad. And yeah. This is this. You know what? I'll just commentate because it's not good for an audio podcast if I'm just silent. But this is horrible. This is horrible. I don't care if they have Judi Dench or Jason Derulo, or if they have Taylor Swift in it. I don't give a damn because it looks horrible. My God. And Tom Hooper is there. Tom Hooper is directing this. He's the director of Les Mis. I cannot take this seriously.
I can kind of see the resemblance.
Oh my God. They literally just paste their faces on the cats. It's not good. Oh my God. Ay. So Ariq, after seeing that, do you feel traumatized?
Wait, I haven't. The trailer's not finished yet. Hang on. Hold up. Okay, it's finished. Okay, so there's this one commentator. He's called the Dark Knight. He's extremely intelligent. He says, this is what people in the bird box saw before they die. I'm like, yeah, I think that makes sense.
God, that is so good.
I'm like, yeah.
In my opinion, Cat in the Hat played by Mike Myers is way better than his Abomination.
Oh my God.
This holiday season, you will believe. I believe God has abandoned us because we have created sin.
Okay, like,
oh God.
like I'm kind of a weeb, and I said like, oh, I like cat girls. This is not what I meant. This is not what I asked for. This does not bring happiness. This brings torment. What the hell? And this guy is actually right. The Mike Myers Cat in the Hat is better. Because he's not. Because the Cat in the Hat is at least like funny in a dumb, stupid way. This is.
Yeah, I don't know. They're taking it as if it's like serious, but I cannot take it seriously.
No, you can't take it.
And Tom Hooper directed Les Mis, which is like one of the most depressing musicals I've ever seen.
Yeah, we didn't take that very seriously the last time we watched it.
And it's kind of like Les Mis was kind of depressed. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't taking it seriously too, man. But I feel like Les Mis was kind of depressing. There was some hopeful stuff, but most of the part is depressing. And I just don't see it here. I cannot. I don't know, man.
I think there's only one way to enjoy it, and you'll have to take a lot of drugs. There's no way you can do this without drugs.
Alcohol required.
I think you need at least at least 3 different types of drugs to you need
3 different types, not that much, but yeah.
Oh my God. I don't understand that. I think I have to say, I think even Kelvin won't find it appealing, and you know how weird of a guy he is.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll
yeah,
find it
it's true.
appealing.
That's true. Yikes.
Well, that was an interesting way to kind of like wrap this all up, huh?
We ended in a high note, not that high note at all.
That's not a high
In a
note
low
at all.
note. This is
Everything
the
we talked
lowest
about
note
was a high
ever, bro.
note. Like
This is
everything's
the
like about
lowest note.
Marvel and stuff, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
cats.
Why did we do this to ourselves?
Well,
Oh
I
well.
did say I haven't watched the trailer, so that's what happens. I should actually
Oh
watch your
well.
reaction. Are you just gonna be like, huh?
Yeah, my face is like, what the fuck throughout the whole time. But yeah. I guess that's it for the show. It's been a long one. It's been a fun one. We talk in-depth Marvel. We talk Jay and Silent Bob reboot. We talk about Zombieland 2. We talk about The Witcher, and the cats happen.
It happened. It happened. God was
It's a
very
curse.
disappointed
It's a
with
curse.
us. People
But yeah.
asked why God abandoned us, and I showed them. Why has
But
God
yeah.
abandoned us? Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's I guess we have to wrap up the show, Ariq. So, where can they find you online? Plug your social media sites out there.
Assuming that the the board our setup is still the same here, you can find
It
my
is.
Instagram at Ariq Andria. It should be written down here, probably.
It is.
Is it written down? Okay, good. It's written down there. Or you can find me on Steam at W Smith, throwback of episode 6. Yeah.
All right, and you can find me at Wiradharma, social media, Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at Councilmen Show on Apple Podcasts. Well, no, Councilmen Show is on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the Councilmen at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, all those kind of stuff. Subscribe so you don't miss out on all this bonkersness. I don't know if we're gonna be doing the live podcast next week or the week after, but eventually it's gonna happen. It's going to be fun. No plans for next week yet. I'm still thinking of what we're gonna do. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss, let us know. Contact us on social media or directly send us a review, and we'll read it and we can do it as a future topic. And you can subscribe to my channel at Jaw Movies on YouTube. You can see trailer reactions like what I did for Cats and The Witcher, and Jay and Silent Bob reboot and Zombieland.
Those reactions are the most like confusing one for you.
Yeah, I'm confused. But yeah, anyway, that is it. So, Ariq, you always do something unique for the end of this. Let's see what you do to close out the show for this one.
Technically, Kelvin usually is the one that closes it, but because he's not here and he's actually playing video games, therefore, the small council has spoken.